let's jump right into a medical mystery I think literally every single one of us can relate to. So picture this. Our everyman stickman protagonist is slumped at his desk. It's what, 10:47 a.m.? He's staring totally blankly at his laptop, an empty coffee cup sitting right there, and he feels like he hasn't slept in absolute days. But here's the kicker. He actually just got a full, uninterrupted 8 hours of sleep last night. Crazy, right? This isn't a one-off for him either. Welcome to today's Explainer, where we're going to finally solve the mystery of why we are just so incredibly exhausted all the time. I mean, you really have to ask yourself, why are you always tired? Because on paper, you are doing everything right. You eat well enough. You get into bed perfectly on schedule for those 8 hours. Heck, maybe you've even cut out the afternoon caffeine, bought all those expensive supplements, downloaded the fancy sleep tracking apps. But despite checking off every single box on the perfect sleep hygiene checklist, you're still completely wiped out every day. You drag yourself through the morning, slump through the afternoon, and just end the day feeling utterly depleted. And this right here perfectly illustrates the core paradox we're dealing with. We naturally expect that logging 8 hours of sleep automatically equals a full tank of energy the next day. It's simple math, right? But the reality? Those exact same 8 hours are leaving us utterly exhausted. The math just isn't mathing. Honestly, it kind of feels like a betrayal by our own biology.
Section 1, the circadian mismatch. It's all about what happens before you even close your eyes.
See, the truth is, unlocking your energy is entirely about what's happening to your body before you even try to go to sleep. For the vast majority of human history, tiredness was a really simple equation. You woke up, worked hard until the sun went down, and when it got dark, your body naturally knew, okay, time to rest. But today, we're facing this massive, invisible mismatch. Exhaustion today rarely comes from simply getting too little sleep. Instead, it's a profound mismatch between what your ancient biology expects and what your modern day actually gives it. Your biology is waiting for fading sunlight. You give it glowing screens. It expects a physical wind down. You give it intense mental stress right up until the second you hit the pillow. Which brings us to Section 2, the melatonin thief. Because, as we'll see, not all sleep is created equal. You can be unconscious for 8 whole hours, but that definitely does not mean you're actually resting. To get why, we need to talk about melatonin. Now, melatonin is this crucial hormone that basically acts as the biological signal telling your brain, hey, it's time to shut down. But it doesn't just make you drowsy, it actually initiates the deeply restorative stages of sleep. Your body only fully repairs itself, rebuilding tissue, consolidating memories, clearing out all that metabolic waste during this deep sleep phase. So if you don't get deep sleep, you literally don't get recovery, no matter how many hours you spend lying in bed. So here is the crucial point. Sitting in bed with your phone lighting up your face at 11:40 p.m. is actively delaying the release of that melatonin. The blue light is literally tricking your brain into thinking the sun is still up in the sky. And here is the genuinely scary part. Even just a 30-minute delay in melatonin production can push you completely out of your deepest, most restorative sleep window for the entire night. Your body never actually reaches the stage where physical repair happens. You're getting the hours, yeah, but you're being completely robbed of the depth. Let's look at Section 3, the invisible stress. This is what it means to be running on alert. There is a second, honestly even more surprising culprit stealing our stickman's energy, and it has absolutely nothing to do with screens at night. Enter our second key biological player, cortisol. This is the stress hormone designed by evolution to keep you alert in dangerous situations. Biologically speaking, cortisol is supposed to peak in the morning to wake you up and then slowly drop steadily from morning to night so your system can relax. But throughout our modern days, our nervous systems are absorbing dozens of tiny shocks, and every single one of those triggers a fresh new hit of cortisol. Let's just track a typical day for our stickman. At 8 a.m., he wakes up tired. At 8:30 a.m., someone cuts him off in morning traffic. Boom, cortisol spike. At 2 p.m., his phone buzzes with a dozen urgent inbox notifications. Boom, another spike. At 7 p.m., he has a slightly tense conversation with a family member. And by 11:40 p.m., he's doom scrolling the news in bed. This constant barrage of background tension and minor everyday conflicts means those stress hormones just never fully switch off. And what's really fascinating here is watching how that stress load meter just keeps filling up. More importantly, notice how the bar doesn't actually reset after the traffic jam or after that tense conversation. Because these daily triggers go unresolved, they keep your cortisol elevated even hours after the specific stressful moment has passed. The tension just stacks, layer upon layer, pushing that bedtime stress load dangerously, dangerously high. The consequence of all this is pretty profound. When our stick man finally closes his eyes and falls asleep with that massively elevated stress load, his nervous system hasn't actually powered down. It's essentially idling, exactly like a car engine left running in a driveway. The car isn't moving, but it's for sure still burning gas. His body is running on high alert while he sleeps. It is not resting. It is quite literally just idling. No wonder he wakes up with an empty tank.
All right, Section 4, sending better signals. Let's talk about fixing this mismatch. The exhaustion isn't caused by one big, dramatic failure. It's caused by a dozen small, invisible ones. So how do we actually fix it? Well, look at the exact protocol our stickman used to turn this whole thing around. He didn't quit his job or start sleeping 10 hours a day. He made just 3 tiny but highly intentional changes. Step 1, he left his phone charging in another room at night, completely eliminating that midnight blue light. Step 2, he opened the blinds immediately upon waking, sending a massive natural light signal to his brain that morning had officially arrived. And step 3, he took a short 15-minute walk outside at lunch to process that morning's stress and get some more natural sunlight. By doing this, he completely regulated his nervous system and reset his circadian rhythm.
Just look at the incredible contrast in these results. Instead of our slumped, exhausted guy from the cold open, look at him just 2 weeks later. He is getting the exact same 8 hours of sleep. He has the exact same stressful job. But because he shifted his biology with those tiny little signals, he actually wakes up naturally. He's alert, he's focused, and for the first time in months, he doesn't immediately reach for the coffee.
And this brings us to the ultimate takeaway of our mystery today. It was never about more sleep. It was about better signals. Fixing chronic fatigue isn't some math problem where you just try to lie in bed for more hours. It's a communication problem. It's about intentionally sending the right biological signals to your brain, light, darkness, movement, and stress relief throughout your entire day. So as you look at your own daily routine and you try to solve your own energy mystery, I want to leave you with this final, absolutely crucial question. Are you going to stop asking how much you're sleeping and start asking what you're doing in the hours before? Your energy tomorrow isn't determined by when you close your eyes tonight. It's determined by how you live today. Take control of those signals and you just might get your energy back.